Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big man Boisterous coming to you with part 2 of Platinum League Pandemonium between Merryfistmas, the red Protoss, and Medio, the blue Protoss. We have Medio go for a fairly fast tech build, which I didn't really pay off for him that much. He didn't get to do a lot of damage, whereas Merryfistmas just got the freedom to take this expansion around 5 minutes earlier. He is going to be able to hold off this attack due to his ranged Colossus up there on the ramp, but I just don't know how effective this is going to end up being. He did just get a couple of sentries for free there, and yeah, it looks like Medio is going to be trying to push in for an attack right now, but I think that if he pushes this, he might actually be able to end the game right now if he really commits to this attack. I think he can take this out. But that's not how he wanted to commit to that attack. He really needed that Colossus up on the front line, and oh, the Colossus is gonna get sniped by a nice blink-in from Merryfistmas. I mean, I typically don't agree with offensive blinking, but when you're offensively blinking to try to take out a Colossus for your enemies, that's a pretty good choice. We do have Medio retreating all the way back. He's going back to Immortal production, which is, I would call it, not the greatest choice. Just because you have that Colossus tech, you need to be using that Colossus tech. Because really, in the end, PvP just ends up either being Colossus Wars or Templar Wars, and there's not really that more to that matchup than that. Immortals can't counter Colossus, and now that Merryfistmas is getting his own Colossus out and running, he doesn't have range on them yet, so I think that if Medio was going for those kind of Colossus numbers, that he would be able to win any real engagement between them. As long as he manages to keep his Colossus back into the back of his army, and he was able to micro them well enough against the Stalker Blink from Merryfistmas. Both of our people are kind of going into a bit of a lull, though, with Merryfistmas taking a much faster third than Medio, kind of like how he took a much faster natural, and I think that's going to be the deciding factor for this game, is going to be expansions at this point, because Medio doesn't really have anything out. He's behind on upgrades, he's behind on tech, he's behind on expansions. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull this out. He's just dropping his forge now. Protoss ground 1 armor is already on the way by Merryfistmas, and he has level 1 attacks. He is getting extended thermal lance. I don't know how long Medio is going to be able to hang on to this, especially because if Merryfistmas pushed right now, I think he would be the decisive winner. It does look like Medio is going for the Twilight Council, so I think we might see some desperation DTs right now, which actually isn't a bad idea. Especially if he gets this warp prism and just warps in, 10 of them right here, he would be able to walk in and just steamroll all of this production. He would at least be able to kill the robotics bay and the robotics facility, and that's the only robot facility. Oh, there's a second one going up right as I say that. So it wouldn't really slow down Merryfistmas all that much, but it would definitely reduce his Colossus count. And if he could get in and maybe snipe the Twilight Council and a couple gateways, that would just be all the better. It does look like Merryfistmas has queued up ground weapons level 2, but he is getting kind of a trust fund due to this extra base that he's getting. I think that he really just needs to add on a couple more warp gates to get charged and start getting some zealots to support his army and just really just cut through Medio, because Stalkers aren't that great against charge lots, especially Stalkers without blink, and Immortals. It's just Immortals don't do any bonus damage to them. Sentries will just get sliced apart. Stalkers will just get sliced apart. Medio really needs to start going back to those Colossus right now, and he's just not doing it. He is going for the Desperation Dark Templar. Fairly surprised he's not getting a Warp Prism, though. He is 42 behind on supply. He needs to make something happen right now, or it's just going to be game over. It does look like Merryfistmas is pushing out for the center of the map, and he was supply blocked for a little bit there, but that doesn't really matter to him right now. Medio still does have that observer there. I would like to see Merryfistmas drop an observer and kind of get it at least over his opponent's base. I don't think I see any observers here, but there are a couple of photon cannons going down, so I guess you would have to be careful of those. However, an observer with his army would definitely do him wonders right now. Especially with these Dark Templar on the way, actually. These might be Medio's saving grace, just the Dark Shrine being able to fight everything off. But, really, Medio's in a lot of trouble right now. He has a huge gas stockpile. Really, I think that's because he's just going for such heavy immortal numbers, and immortals cost a lot of minerals and not so much gas, as far as other gas-heavy units go. I'm surprised that we're still seeing Stalkers and we're not seeing Dark Templar and Archons right now. Because really, Archons are pretty effective on this map, if you think about it. Because there's nowhere for these Colossus to run where they're above the Archons, so the Archons can constantly get shots off on them. But really, I don't know. Especially now that he's not even getting his upgrades from his forge. Ground weapons level 2, and I think this is going to be a 2-1 push out of Merryfistmas, and I'm not sure how Medio is going to be able to hold this off. He's running for mid. I think he knows that this is the death push coming out of Merryfistmas, and I'm really surprised by his switch off of Colossus. That's just never a good choice. I think he is going to get a favorable engagement angle here, and he does have Dark Templar, and Merryfistmas actually doesn't have any detection on him. So those Dark Templar are going to be able to wreak havoc against Merryfistmas' army, but I think these Colossi are just way too much, and these Dark Templar aren't targeting the right things. I think they're just A-moving, and they really need to be targeting onto those Colossi. I think this army is going to be on the retreat any second now, and yep, there it goes, as all these Dark Templars are just wiping out Stalkers. But I think that as soon as these two Colossus are done, you're just going to see, you know, observers pop out, and if these Dark Templars overcommit and run into this cannon line, that's going to be game over for Medio. And I think that's actually what they're going to do. I think they're just on a straight up attack command, and they're just going to follow these Colossus all the way in, and yep. Ugh, man, so many Dark Templars going down. Yep, there's 2 observers coming out just to be safe in case one of them gets sniped. And Medio has an entirety of, I think, 4 Stalkers. Make that 6 Stalkers. 6 Stalkers and maybe like 2 Dark Templar? Oh, 3 Dark Templar, sorry. So, I don't think 6 Stalkers and 3 Dark Templar are going to hold up against this insane army out of Merryfistmas, because this is really just 34 Stalkers, 7 Colossus, 2 Observers versus 4 Dark Templar and 6 Stalkers. I think we all know who's going to win the game at this point. There are those Dark Templars doing some damage, but just not enough. I don't think they even got a kill for that one. And really, this was not a worth it desperation switch. Medio really needs to get those kind of, you know, he really needed this base up way earlier. He probably needed it 6 minutes ago, I would say, because this is just a ridiculously late third to be taking. That plus the fact that he switched off a Colossus and he's finally getting those Colossus back, but it's just too late. Especially considering the fact that Merryfistmas has 2-2 upgrades, and Medio saying GG with "where was your other base?" And that question surprises me, because the other base is literally where his third base should be against another Protoss. I guess Medio is surprised that he didn't go for this base, this gold base, but Medio does finally say GG and leave the game. So congratulations to Merryfistmas for some awesome Platinum League Pandemonium play. This was the 8th game I have brought you. The 7th game did have some recording issues, so I'm probably going to do my best to re-record that and put that out before my next one on before I release the next video on Saturday. I hope I did fix the volume issues in this video. I did my best to do it, and yeah. If you guys want to see more Boisterous action, go check out youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. If you want to send in your games, send them into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. And, you know, just go tell your friends, go tell your family, go tell everybody you know and everybody that you're randomly stomping on ladder about Boisterous, and to send their own games in, because I am still looking for more viewers and more people to cast. Because this is pretty fun, but I don't want to be casting the same 6 people over and over again. I probably will end up starting doing repeats of people pretty soon, actually. So yeah, this is Boisterous signing out.